Once upon a time in adequately advanced magic.
Before anything else happens, you hear someone kicking the door in.
Of the shop?
Of the shop. And you see 3 gnolls with ski masks on. You see these humanoids, they look like human hyena hybrids. One of them, a larger one, is carrying a shotgun. And he yells into the shop, "All right, this is a stick-up. Everybody get on the floor."
Welcome to Falcon's Reach, a city in which magic is technology. You're listening to Adequately Advanced Magic.
Where are we in the shop at this point?
We'll say the 3 of you guys were in the back row.
Okay.
Just looking out the JYMO voucher bar machine.
We're all in the back row, we're just not together. Niclaus and I are looking at whatever. Or Niclaus is looking at what he's looking at. Hyrkir's probably lost the thread a little bit and is kind of wandering or looking at a different shelf.
Seirys will definitely, run to the front of the store and be like, "FRPD! Criminals, stop what you're doing! This is a crime! And crime is bad!" And takes out her, what is it? What would she have at this point? She has one of those, what are they called again? The little batons?
The extendable batons.
Yeah, and she pulls that out and she's like, "Stop what you're doing and turn away from your evil ways. Also, you're under arrest for attempted robbery." Are they convinced that they're bad?
So bad. The 3 of you are inside this Soulsmart, a convenience store. It's about 30 feet wide by 60 feet long, and there's 2 shelves located in the interior, basically splitting the store into 3 columns. There is a row in the back and a sort of another row in the front, and near the entrance, which is at the bottom in the south, is a counter behind which is a particularly scared-looking dwarf. 3 gnolls, these sort of half-human, half-hyena-looking hybrids, with ski masks on and various weaponry, have barged in and now are attempting to rob the store. Seirys, you've run up to accuse them of their crimes.
Damn straight.
Meanwhile, Hyrkir and Niclaus, where are you guys?
I'm still at the back. I'm sort of looking up with interest at the gnolls.
And where was the Jimo vending machine that I was purchasing stuff from?
We can say the 2 of you guys are just next to each other.
As I heard the commotion and saw the ruffians enter, Niclaus attempted to hide behind the aisle shelf thing. And he takes a moment to create a telepathic connection with Hyrkir so he doesn't have to speak out loud. He's like, "This is not the kind of day I was hoping we would have."
Well, there's a cop, so she probably has it in control.
We'll see.
Olivia is also there, and she gets into her defensive stance, and she's like,
Let me at him! Let me at him!
She's just like, "Ah?" And we're going to go ahead and roll for initiative.
It's going to be a big old 16 for Niclaus.
Hyrkir got 15.
Seirys got a 14.
Wow, straight.
Just fantastic. I'm sad I failed to persuade the criminals that they were wrong. That they made poor choices in life.
How about we do some pre-battle rolls? Niclaus, go ahead and do your hide roll.
Alright. It's not too bad. 16 plus 2 is going to be a 18 for stealth.
Nice. And Seirys, you can do your persuasion check.
The persuasion. It's a 9.
Yeah. What did you say again to them?
Basically, that crime is bad, and she knows that they can do better. Wait, hold on. I know you. I know you can do better. I know you feel like you need to steal to survive, but there are other ways. Don't do this. It's a slippery slope.
The bigger Gnoll, he stops for a second and he's like, you know what? You're right. Wait, I don't care. And then he raises his shotgun and he's going to try and shoot you.
It's like super rude.
Classic Gnoll.
Wait, you're right. Wait, no, hold on.
She's like, I'm going to turn my life around after today.
I just need this like one score.
One more murder, and I'll have completed my Murderville card.
The bigger Gnoll raises his shotgun, and 3 glowing darts of magical force fly towards you, Seirys.
Oh, this is a magic missile.
Yes.
It seems like there's multiple magic missiles.
Ooh, uh-oh.
Are you going to kill me off immediately?
It does 13 force damage.
I mean, it's not great, but she's beefy.
Yeah, the glowing darts of magical force thud in a row against your body armor.
Ow.
That's assaulting a police officer.
Really, it's a slippery slope. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it pushes you back a little bit, and you sort of bump into one of the vending machines, breaking the glass.
Some cheap-ass glass.
Yeah, this is where I'm like, I'm sorry.
One of the other gnolls moves up down the first aisle towards Hyrkir, Niclaus, and Olivia. He's going to move 30 feet down from the entrance. He pulls out a pretty fancy-looking carbon fiber longbow.
Jeez.
And he prepares to shoot at you guys. He can't really see Niclaus nor Olivia.
Process of elimination.
And he yells at Hyrkir to get on the floor and to put your hands on behind your head. And he's going to prepare to shoot you if you do anything other than that.
Okay.
It's Nicklaus's turn.
Niclaus slinks away from the one that was approaching, hopefully staying low and behind the shelves so he doesn't get seen. And he tries to get a look at the 2 gnolls that are still by the front, but basically by going maybe peeking around the length of the middle aisle.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of whispers under his breath as he casts Dissonant Whispers at 2nd level. As the whispers begin, they kind of start doubling up on themselves, like there's 2 voices speaking, as he uses a sorcery point to twin the spell.
Wow.
Oh, actually 2 sorcery points to twin it since it's 2nd level. They roll wisdom saving throws.
Alright, the 2 that are still in the front is the big one and a normal-sized one. The normal-sized one rolls a 20.
Mm-hmm.
The big one that just shot the police officer in the front rolls a 10.
Okay, so 1 fails, 1 passes. The one that succeeded will take half damage. So it'll be 4d6 psychic damage.
Wow.
Rolling 2 at a time. 2 4s. And another 2. 2 and a 4. 14 psychic damage to the one that failed.
Mm-hmm.
And 7 to the one that passed. And the one that failed must use its reaction to move as far as its speed allows away from me. It doesn't move into obviously dangerous ground, but it does have to try to flee
Okay.
with its reaction.
Yeah, you sort of tactically peek around the other corner and you do this, and you see both the big gnoll and the normal-sized gnoll suddenly clutch their heads as if they're in pain, one of them being slightly more affected than the other. How does this game work again? Do they do the reaction, like, immediately?
Yeah, reactions are like immediately, unless he already used it, but I don't think he has yet.
The big gnoll's going to back up a little bit into the bottom left corner, sensing some sort of terrifying presence in the back middle of the convenience store.
Oh, Olivia.
Does the police officer get an opportunity attack?
I think we'll say that he wouldn't let her get within 5 feet before shooting.
That makes sense.
So we'll say like you're 10 feet away, if that's okay.
Sure.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you hear some terrified screams come from the right side of the convenience store. It's that middle-aged tiefling mom and her child.
Oh, that's right.
And now it's Hyrkir's turn.
Okay. So the gnoll is 30 feet away from me?
Yep.
Hyrkir will start to get down on the ground and then cast Infestation on the gnoll. You must make a con saving throw.
They roll a 5.
They do not make it. He will take 1d6 poison damage, 4 points of poison damage, and moves 5 feet in a random direction if it can move, and its speed is at least 5 feet. Roll a d4 for the direction. Do you want me to roll?
He used up his movement already,
Okay.
so I don't think he can go anywhere.
He just takes the damage.
Yep. What does it look like?
Hyrkir is sort of slowly lowering himself to the floor. He's got sort of his hands up, and then he just kind of points a little bit at the gnoll, and suddenly just a swarm of bugs and mites and flies and mosquitoes are all around his head and upper chest and burrowing into his fur, and it's very uncomfortable for him.
Yeah, it looks like his mange is getting worse.
Actually, his mange goes away. It's just covered in bugs. It looks like it's moving. It's very gross.
He bumps into the shelves of Magitech, and a couple of them spill all over next to him. It's Seirys' turn.
What kind of, like, terrified scream was this, Joey? Like, how terrified was this scream?
On a scale of nonchalant to terrified, probably like a 7 and 7.8.
Okay.
Was it the middle-aged tiefling or was it the son?
It was both.
Oh, wow.
I just saw well, I don't know what they saw. They heard the threat, I guess.
Yeah, I was trying to determine if, like, something came over. Well, nothing would have come over to them. We're, like, all here. Okay, then, yeah, I will change my action to... Joey, do I have my, like, powers at this point?
Yeah, we can say so.
Okay, let's see. Then I will use...
How about we flavor it where you sort of don't really know what's going on, though?
Okay, so in my heart of hearts, I'm like, Holy Tamara, help me show these lost souls how wrong they are, and I cast command on the gnoll that's in front of me, and he has to, and I say, flee, and he must do a wisdom saving throw or follow that command on its next turn.
I'm just picturing the gnoll, like, thinking there's actually fleas. Because he's part hyena.
Where?
He rolls a 16.
Okay, so that's super cool. So...
yeah, he's like, fleas? I hate fleas.
My faith is not shaken yet. This is an action, yes. Okay. I do go and run and stand next to the gnoll that I was just talking to. So not the big one, but yeah.
Yep. You move up to the normal looking gnoll.
Yeah.
Hello, normal-looking gnoll.
You look so normal.
You seem an average example of your species.
Peak gnoll.
He doesn't enjoy you entering his personal space, so he pulls out a spear and he tries to stab you.
Super rude.
No.
Rolls a 10.
That does not hit.
No one likes the cops.
Yep. He stabs into the shelving and a bunch of cans of stuff fly everywhere.
Okay.
Olivia, meanwhile, runs up to the gnoll that is in front of you, Hyrkir, and attempts to, punch him, but she just goes through him. The gnoll feels a little bit cold. The gnoll that is in charge, but is scared at the moment, he's going to try and shoot at you again. Seirys?
Oh, okay. With magic missile?
Yeah. He raises his shotgun and he lets loose another 3 darts of magical power. This time he rolls 10 damage.
Ow. Things could be better, but it's fine.
Having been attacked by fleas, the gnoll in front of Hyrkir sees that there's really only one person in front of him. He's going to pull out his spear and run up to you and try to stab you.
To me?
Yep. Wait, are you prone right now?
I didn't get all...
You're crouching?
Yes.
Okay. He rolls a 9.
That does not hit.
Yep. You tumble roll out of the way. Meanwhile, the gnoll stabs one of the... I can't believe this isn't electrolytes. Some yellowish fluid starts leaking everywhere.
Ew.
Oh, no.
It's back to Niclaus.
Hearing the screams, Niclaus moves over to the far right aisle and takes a peek. What's he see?
The middle-aged tiefling housewife and her son, she sort of has her body positioned in a way to protect him, and they're just cowering in the middle of the aisle.
Do they see me?
We'll say the mom is looking in the opposite direction, but the kid does see you.
Okay, I just make the finger over the lips motion to him to indicate to be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And then I peek my head up over the shelves a little bit, like between two cereal boxes. Do I see any of the gnolls?
You see the normal-looking gnoll that is still over here, and he is engaged with the police officer.
Alright, seeing that gnoll there fighting the police officer, I, again, just kind of mutter under my breath, and it just sounds like incomprehensible speech, just something that sounds painful, but it's just kind of a quiet whisper. And I cast Mind Sliver on that guy. He has to make an intelligence saving throw.
He rolls a 9.
Fails, so he's going to take 1d6 psychic damage, which is a 2. I'm going to use a sorcery point to reroll that, empowering the spell. It's a 5. So he takes 5 psychic damage, and he has to subtract a 1d4 if he makes a saving throw in his next turn.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of duck back down behind the cereal boxes.
Yep. As you do that, he suddenly jolts back a little bit from the pain. Sirius, do you get the feeling that something is hurting it?
He's get really bad migraines.
Yeah, you're not exactly sure what it is.
Can I look around and try to perceive, or?
Yeah, we can say that you take a look around and you see Niclaus poke his. Your eyes meet for just a split second, and he ducks underneath the cereal boxes again. Hyrkir, it's your turn.
From a crouch, Hyrkir just looks up at the gnoll, and a flaming scimitar appears in his hand, and he attacks. 16.
That hits.
The gnoll takes 11 points of damage. Fiery damage. As Hyrkir hops up to his feet, slashing the gnoll on the way.
Yeah. You hop up to your feet and you make a wide slash with your flaming scimitar, cutting him across his chest, and also slicing a bunch of JYMO protein bars in half.
Does Niclaus see flames happening 2 aisles over?
Yeah.
Sudden light from the back.
He just thinks to Hyrkir, everything okay over there? I see a lot of fire.
There's a gnoll. I'm taking care of it.
Alright, everything's good over here. I'm keeping an eye on the mom and the son.
Sounds good.
Let's see if I can actually be useful this time. All right, I'm going to be like, I'm sorry, sir, but you're forcing me to do this. This hurts me more than it hurts you. And I hit him with my extendable baton. Okay, it's a 9.
A 9 does not hit. You attempt to whack the gnoll on the head, but he dodges out of the way, and you break some things that are on the countertop.
I'm sorry.
Does the hyena laugh?
Yeah. The gnoll cackles.
This is not a good introduction to my character.
I think it really sets the tone.
The gnoll you just try to hit sidesteps and twists around and tries to spear you.
Rude.
He rolls a 13.
Inappropriate.
That does not hit.
Olivia has decided that she cannot really help. She pulls out a magazine and
Is there just a floating magazine there? She reads it.
We'll say it got knocked over at some point and it's open to a page, so she's just looking at it. It's back to the top. The big gnoll has run out of shots in the shotgun.
Bludgeon away.
Thank goodness.
From his back, he pulls out a glaive.
Whoa.
Glaive?
It's a pole arm. You don't just pull out a pole arm. Although
Casually,
maybe he's really big.
he casually pulls out a pole arm from behind his back, and it actually has a reach of 10. So from his corner, he can poke at you. Serious.
So rude.
I'm picturing handles for Swiffers. They extend out.
He's got a collapsible pole arm.
Collapsible glaive.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay, yeah. The bigger gnoll, from behind his back, he pulls out what at first appears to be a 2-foot long stick. And then he swings it out, and it extends into a glaive with a reach of 10 feet. And he's going to try and stab Seirys. The first attack is a nat 1.
He forgot to lock it.
Yeah.
That's it. Just tells him back in.
He forgets to lock the mechanism together, and the glaive just flops to the floor impotently.
Tee. Tee.
But he swings it again, attempting to lock it in place, and then tries to stab you again with his second attack. And this time he rolls a 16.
That also misses.
Yeah.
Dang.
Since he missed the first time, you see that he's preparing to stab you. And as the second attack comes,
She sucks in her gut.
Yeah. you sidestep just a couple of inches out of the way.
Cool. Love it.
The one next to Hyrkir pulls out his spear from the I can't believe it's not electrolytes, and he's going to try and stab you again. This time he also rolls a nat 1.
Hyrkir doesn't even know he's made an attack. He's so witted.
He's starting to make like a I can't believe it's not electrolytes kebab.
I can't believe it's not a real spear.
Niclaus, it's your turn.
Okay. He's going to focus on that same gnoll he was... Actually, no, he's going to change focus to the one with the glaive. Can he see him if he pops his head up a little bit?
Yeah, just barely you can see the top of his head.
Okay, so he will use his bonus action, and this time he does do a small hand motion as well as muttering under his breath as he casts X with his bonus action. And it's going to give disadvantage on ability checks for strength. And for his action, he will cast Mind Sliver as another spike of psychic energy goes towards the guy, and he has to make an intelligence saving throw.
He rolls a 10.
Fails. Takes 1d6 psychic and 1d6 necrotic. So that'll be 6 total damage.
Yeah, the big Gnoll's like, ow.
And if he makes a saving throw, again, subtract a 1d4.
Mm-hmm. Alright, Hyrkir.
Hyrkir will again slash with his flame blade. 24.
Nice.
That hits.
Or 23, sorry.
Oh no.
12 points of damage.
Yeah, the Gnoll in front of you is incapacitated. Did you want him to die or non-lethal?
I mean, it's a burning sword. I'm not sure how you non-lethal that.
Yeah, in general, I'll be pretty lenient in the non-lethal/lethal department. So
There's a cop on the ground, so he'll go non-lethal for now.
mhm.
The guy just faints. He's about to get the attack, and the guy's just like, ugh.
He's just got big burning scimitar marks on his fur.
Describe to us how you knock him out.
Seeking to maximize the damage without necessarily killing him, he hits him with the flat of the blade, and the smell of burning fur and flesh comes out, and the gnoll faints from the burning.
Yeah, the camera zooms in for a second as the flat of your blade smashes into his face, and his face is all crooked. And his head flies into the shelf, and it straight up crashes through 2 layers of it.
There's one flame, it's doused by, I can't believe it's not Gatorade.
I'm picturing the face from Home Alone with the guy who had the iron on the face.
100%.
Alright, and it's back to Seirys.
Seirys looks over to Hyrkir and she's just like, nice job, citizen! And then turns toward this dude and is gonna attempt another whack. Come on. You will. Does a 12 hit?
A 12 does not hit.
Alright. So, alright. Well,
This is the state of the Falcon's Reach police force.
let's see. Well, let's see. I do have a bonus action because I want to do a spell that works. I'm going to cast Shield of Faith on myself, which will raise my AC by 2. Yeah. I don't know. I touch my Falcon's Reach Police Department badge, and I'm like, I need protection. And I suddenly start, I guess, glowing or shimmering a little bit.
She suddenly has a pretty princess dress on.
It's very shimmery.
We'll say there were some cigarettes or something on the counter, and for some reason you just really hate cigarettes, so you keep whacking it.
Smoking's bad.
The Gnoll steps out of the way. He's going to once again do a little twisty turn, and then he's going to try and stab you again. This time he rolls a 19.
That would have hit, but now my AC is 21, so he does not hit.
Wow.
It perfectly hits his little badge. It looks like it goes through a coat, but really it was blocked by the badge.
For a hot second, looks like you got stabbed, except he just happened to stab straight into your badge, and it glances off over to the side. Olivia keeps reading her magazine.
Can I could see her, right?
You actually can't see her, so it's very peculiar for you.
I just to her, I'm like, ma'am, get down. This is a dangerous place to be, reading magazines.
Olivia looks a little bit surprised.
And then I turn towards
She's making so many friends in one day.
friendship.
All of a sudden, I'm super visible. What's happened?
The big Gnoll is like, I hate cops, and then tries to stab you again. He rolls a 12 on the first one, and a 7 on the second one.
Well, I don't hate you, but I do wish you'd stop trying to stab me.
He's going to make a howl, and he's going to have the other gnoll use its reaction to attack.
Wow.
So he's going to try and spear you again, and once again it bounces off because they rolled a 7. From the back, Hyrkir and Niclaus, you just see this policewoman come under very heavy attack.
Oof. Hyrkir's conflicted about this.
I'm like, stay back, I've got this under control.
Niclaus says to Hyrkir, I don't know if she has it under control.
This is totally normal.
I don't think she does at all.
Sounds like everything's wrapped up over there on your side.
Yep. Don't think he'll be getting up for a while.
It's Nicklaus's turn.
Niclaus, seeing the officer in a little bit of trouble,
A bit. Just a bit.
a little bit, decides to step out into the aisle in the middle, so as to draw attention away from the tiefling and son on the other aisle. Holds up a magic pistol and pretends to shoot a ray of frost from the pistol while really he's shooting using his Eldritch Blast, using his own cantrip spell at the whichever of the gnolls looks the most beat up. Actually, no, sorry, the one he hexed earlier.
None of them have been beaten up.
The one he hexed earlier, which I think was the big guy.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll roll an attack. Ooh. 9 plus 7, 16?
A 16 hits.
16 hits! 1d8 plus 1d6. He does 6 damage. 4 cold, 2 necrotic.
Mm-hmm.
Its speed is reduced by 10. And then he does the tactical end of the aisle, back to the wall, peeking around the side to reduce his profile.
Your ray of frost flies over the shelves and hits the gnoll, the big gnoll, and little bits of ice start to form on his fur.
Just like, you need to chill, sir.
Oh, God. Niclaus, cringes.
Mitchell also cringes.
It's Hyrkir's turn.
Okay, so I'm 60 feet away, or a little bit under. So Hyrkir will move 30 and then cast Infestation on the gnoll with the glaive.
Yep, they roll a... what is it?
Constitution save.
The big gnoll rolls a 7.
The gnoll does not succeed, so he will take 1d6 poison damage. 6 points of poison damage.
Nice.
If it's got movement, it can move in a random direction. It has to move in a random direction to do.
I think he actually does have movement, but he's stuck in the corner, so he can only move north or to the right.
Okay. I'll roll d6. 1 through 3 will be north, and 4 through 6 will be right.
Yep.
Right. So it moves 5 feet.
Okay. Yeah, he moves 5 feet, and now he's blocking the entrance.
Someone needs a bath.
Hyrkir, you dramatically move down 30 feet. Do you walk through Olivia or around her?
No, I walk around Olivia.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not gonna... I step over her magazine.
Yeah, you dramatically move down 30 feet down this aisle of the convenience store, gently stepping around Olivia, who's still reading her magazine. She gives you a thumbs up as you pass by. All this time, you're preparing your infestation spell, after which a bunch of fleas and mites attack this gnoll, and he as he's trying to brush it all off, he stumbles 5 feet in front of the entrance. Alright, it's back to Seirys.
So, I pull out my bigger extendable baton. Which has the stats of a warhammer for the extra tough criminals, and I attack with that, and that's a 19.
That hits.
Okay, that'll be a 1d8 plus 3. Okay, so they'll take 7 bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, the camera cuts to the same angle that appeared earlier when Hyrkir used the flat of his blade to hit the guy's face. This time, though, it's a warhammer hitting this guy's face, and now one of his eyes is completely closed from the swelling.
Is he incapacitated?
He is not incapacitated. In fact, he's going to make a last-ditch attempt to slide over the counter and go ahead and do an opportunity attack, Seirys.
Oh, shoot, I can do that. Okay. 18.
That hits.
Alright. Does he look bad, though? Does he look close to being incapacitated?
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, that's max. Okay, so that'll be 11 damage.
The gnoll takes a look over his shoulder at the cowering soul-smart dwarf, and you can see the gears cranking in his head that he's going to try and take this guy hostage or something to try and get out of here. But as he leaps over the counter, you hit him. What does that look like?
Half-elf hits Gnoll with Warhammer.
This isn't Seirys' first time dealing with a soul smart robbery. You know, these kind of things are common in the city. And so this is a classic move that these criminals try to pull. So as soon as she sees his eyes darting between like her and the dude and then back to her and the dude, she like raises her weapon and he turns and she cracks him in the back of the head non-lethally. And he falls over, and she's like, crime doesn't pay.
Yeah, just as he's about to dive over the counter, you reach out and you bop him on the head.
Boop. And that's that.
The big gnoll makes a terrifying hyena scream, and he's going to try and glaive you again.
So rude.
The first attack is a 19.
No.
Second attack is also a 19.
Both no, because my stuff should still be active.
Yeah, he continues to stab you, growing angrier each time, but each time his glaive just bounces off your armor. And he's like, "Who are you?"
Just a member of our police force. I say as I'm like glowing with like holy energy.
Alright, it's back to Niclaus.
Seeing another one of the gnolls taken down, feels more confident that the police officer has it under control. So he kind of like strolls down the middle aisle towards the commotion at the front, taking another peek over the aisle on his left to the tieflings, just checking on them.
Yeah, they're still there.
Cool. So then he pulls out the magic pistol and gets ready to shoot when he has like a clear line of sight. Because I'm guessing right now the police officer's in the way, or does he have an angle?
We can say you have an angle.
Okay. Then he shoots over her shoulder, trying to hit him with the magic pistol, pretending to shoot him with the magic pistol while shooting Ray of Frost. Ooh, that's 11 to hit.
11 does not hit.
So he takes aim with the magic pistol, but he's not used to like casting with his hand like in that position, so it's a little bit off. As the ray misses, he just kind of like curses under his breath. He's like, I need to get the hang of this.
Yeah, the trying to pretend to shoot something while not shooting something makes it a little bit difficult to aim. Hyrkir, it's your turn.
Okay, how far am I away from the remaining?
Just another 30 feet.
Hyrkir will take that 30 feet then and attack with his flame blade. 16?
16 hits.
For 12 points of damage.
Nice. Hyrkir, you run up to the big gnoll and you slash at him with your flaming scimitar, and it cuts him across his chest / arm.
It's okay, it's cauterized.
The flaming sword, the known non-lethal specialty.
Serious.
Alright, I would like to attempt to overpower this Gnoll and cuff him.
Are you gonna grapple him?
Yeah.
Well, I think Niclaus...
He's also not looking too great.
I think Niclaus gave him, like, hexed him, right?
That is true. He has disadvantage on strength ability checks.
Yeah, so I'm going to attempt to cuff this Gnoll. And I guess that would be an opposed grapple check.
Yeah. He rolls either a 4... He rolls a 4.
Alright. This is athletics, right?
Yeah.
Athletics. Oh, I got a nat 20. Plus 5, so 25. Justice.
For great.
For great justice. Also, I assume it would be reasonable that she would have handcuffs on her.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll just roll it into, or at least this time, I'll just roll it into your grapple check.
Okay.
Basically, Seirys, you sense some weakness in the big gnoll, and then you jump onto him, pushing him to the ground, and then slapping some handcuffs onto him.
I start reading him his rights. Like, you have the right to remain silent, anything you can't say, blah, 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 blah.
And we're going to leave combat unless anybody else wants to do anything.
I mean, if she's incapacitated the last of them, then there's no reason to.
Mm-hmm.
From behind you, you hear Olivia go, "Well, that was really exciting. Good thing I can't die again." She stops reading the magazine.
I will be going over to the cashier and, basically saying, like, it's all right. It's okay. Everything's fine. I took care of it. Your store is safe. I gestured to all the, like, damaged stuff. And then I'll also go and reassure the tiefling and her son.
In the distance, you hear sirens.
Hyrkir makes for the door.
Niclaus tries to grab any of the magitech he needs on the way out.
Actually, you three, I do need you guys to come in as witnesses to, just explain like what you saw, so that we could put these three gnolls away so they could be rehabilitated to be better people.
I think Niclaus will pretend not to hear.
Yep.
Olivia walks into a shelf.
I blink a few times. I'm like, what just happened to the small child that was with you?
At that, like, Niclaus, his foot, like, hovering above the floor, like, mid-step. He like, stops and, like, turns, and he's, what young girl?
I'm like, your teenage daughter just walked into a shelf like a ghost of some kind. That sounds crazy to say. Never mind. But I swear I just saw her walk into a shelf.
At this point, Niclaus now is yelling telepathically to Hyrkir. Hyrkir, this cop can see Olivia. I don't know what's going on.
Well, Olivia said something about if you experience some trauma or lost something, someone could see her. So I guess maybe that would be it.
It could be.
Is Hyrkir outside yet?
As you emerge from the door, 3 police vehicles float on in.
hitting. I'm picturing like
the front of the store.
I was picturing 3 pedestrians getting hit on the way. Like.
We're here to help.
They do the thing where they open the doors and use the doors as really shitty protection. They pull out their guns and they yell at you to, "Hey, put down the gun." You don't even have a gun.
Hyrkir sort of like freezes and then ducks back inside.
Can I defuse the situation, Joey?
What do you do?
I walk out the door and I I point to my badge and I'm like, and my hands up and I'm like, it's all right. They're with me. I'm Officer Alanis with Precinct 42. They helped me take down the gnolls that were robbing the store. I'm currently handcuffing them to bring them in for questioning and processing. Situation is under control.
Do a persuasion check.
All right, persuasion.
We're all fine here.
Actually,
how are you?
Actually, this will be a good time for me to use a channel divinity, which
channel that divinity.
Which is Emissary of Peace. So I'll use that, which will add to my... It basically adds to, my persuasion. So I guess a +5 bonus to charisma checks for the next 10 minutes.
Wow.
So my voice sounds, way louder and more persuasive.
Authoritative.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. That is... So that'll be a 29.
Wow. Yeah. From behind one of the police cars, you hear a voice go, "Oh my gosh, Officer Alanis, is that you?"
Yay, she survived.
From behind the police car steps out now Detective Valerie Wolf.
Ooh, nice.
Instead of the usual uniform, she's now wearing a white shirt with suspenders and dark pants and a leather jacket, and she has a really metal scar across her neck.
Fuck yeah. Detective Wolf, oh my god, what are the odds?
Oh my gosh, Alanis, it's been so long.
Oh my gosh, I know. Yeah, so I was shopping here, and then these 3 gnolls showed up and tried to cause a fuss, but me and these 2 lovely gentlemen were able to hold them off, and now they're all incapacitated and ready to bring in for questioning. Hooray. We should get lunch sometime, by the way. Oh my god, there's this new imitation food place that's right down the street from the precinct. We have to go.
Oh my gosh, next Thursday?
Heck yes.
She signals the other police officers to lower their weapons, and she says, "Well, I guess you've got everything under control?"
Yep, nothing else really going on here. Crime has been stopped. The store is mostly intact. And yeah, we'll just, once these guys are brought in, we can bring them in for processing.
All right, well, I gotta head out. I'll let you handle the processing and the post-incident report.
Yeah, no problem. Have a great evening.
She orders some of the police officers to stay, about 1 car worth, so it's just 1 or 2 uniformed officers, and the others are sent along their way. She gives you a bit of a bro hug and then heads out.
Love bro hugs. Yeah, I instruct the officers that she left behind to help me handcuff the other perps and bring them in.
Meanwhile, we cut back to inside the convenience store. The tiefling mom and her son run out, as does the Soulsmart attendant. And you hear this whole conversation go on outside.
Niclaus is looking for the Magitech he needed.
Yep, do a perception check.
Perception.
Well, I guess first, which ones are you looking for?
I'm looking for the cantrip Mage Hand and the cantrip Produce Flame.
Yeah, go ahead and do your perception check.
It's gonna be a 15.
Yeah, amidst all the broken shelving, you're still pretty easily able to find the magitech that you need.
He pockets it. And does he see Hyrkir like run out and then immediately run back in? And
Yeah.
Here, because I'm like, I guess we couldn't just leave, huh?
Bunch of cops out there. I don't know when we might be able to get out.
I mean, we could just play it cool. Remember our aliases.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Niclaus approaches the police officer and he says, "Hello, miss, can we go now?"
Sorry, listen, I know it's inconvenient, but would you and your friend and your daughter mind giving just a brief statement that we can use, which will help us lock these 3 gnolls up to be rehabilitated?
I mean, I can give you like a written statement because we really gotta go. We got a thing. There's a whole thing. Yeah.
I take out like a notepad, my officer's notepad. I'm like, can I get a name for you, your friend, and your daughter over there?
Yeah. Well, my name is Darren.
I very slowly write this down. Sir, you over there? What is your name?
Hyrkir looks around. Are you talking to me?
Yeah, you, sir.
Yeah, I'm Rickmar.
Rickmar. And that's R-I-C-K...
R-Y.
Hold on. I scratch out everything I just wrote. R-Y...
C-K-M-A-R.
Gotcha. Okay. And ma'am, you? Do I see this lady, or is she still in the shelf?
She's still hiding in the shelf, so you don't really know where she is.
Okay, this is weird. What happened to that small child that was with you?
Hmm?
The small child who was reading the magazine?
I'm not sure what you mean.
The
Do you remember a small child, Rickmar?
I don't know of any small children.
Are you feeling okay?
I describe her exactly, and I'm she ran into that shelf, and I go over to the shelf and I start shaking it, I guess.
She ran into the shelf? It doesn't look like it got knocked over.
Can I use my divine sense to try to find her?
Ooh.
It'll help me find the location of a celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet.
Yeah, you can.
Okay. I'm just internally Tamara, I know I'm not crazy. I saw a child. Help me find her. And you do account for everybody on the scene. And I use that ability, which, yeah. I assume maybe it lights something up.
Olivia, who is hiding inside the bookshelf, feels a tingle. And it is a very weird tingle for her. And she has an oh shit moment of realization, and she decides to pop out of the shelf.
It's a ghost.
Olivia plays it pretty smooth though. She says, "Oh, haha, hi officer. I was just in the restroom."
Ma'am, this store doesn't have a restroom. What is your name?
Olivia? As she says that, she glances at Hyrkir and Niclaus a little bit confusedly.
We are, or I should say, Niclaus is slowly edging towards the door.
By the way, sir, I saw you point at these gnolls several times, and they seem to have some sort of conniption when you did that, and that is very unusual. Can you explain to me what that was?
The only time I pointed was with the magic pistol. Haha. Niclaus does a finger gun. Because the psychic attacks were all vocal only, so there was no hand movements for those.
Oh, but can I insight Niclaus?
Do you guys want to contest each other?
Sure.
Fight.
So Niclaus, go ahead and roll a deception check, and Seirys will roll a insight check.
I got a 16.
18.
Okay.
Yeah, Seirys, you're definitely still suspicious, but you're willing to let this one slide. Especially since you've also noticed there's something weird going on with you at the same time.
Well, I guess this is just a weird night, generally.
And this is also something that both Hyrkir and Niclaus sort of noticed, that this police officer is somewhat clumsily also casting magic by herself.
She is still shimmering for 10 minutes after casting that spell.
So Niclaus and Hyrkir now have a telepathic sidebar while she's interrogating Olivia. He's like, she's glowing.
I did notice that. Is that a magic thing?
I didn't see her use any magitech.
While they're having this sidebar, can I lay on hands on myself, like trying to be discreet about it?
Sure. Do you guys want to try and see what she's laying hands on?
I mean, we're watching her interrogate Olivia, so yeah, I'm definitely watching.
I don't think she knows that this is magic exactly. She just thinks...
knows if she rubs it the right way, it feels better.
Ruh-roh. She just thinks she's just really tight with God. And she like puts her hand over like where some of the magic missiles hit, and there's some, I guess, scarring there. And she just sort of absentmindedly is like, touches it, and then she's gonna heal for 10. And then it's like those scars are gone.
Yeah, we'll just say Hyrkir and Niclaus, you guys happen to see this.
Yep, more magic.
That looked like healing.
Yeah, the wounds are gone. But she doesn't look like the person from the pod.
No.
Also, that person tried to kill us.
True. Definitely something with magic coming back for casting. Hyrkir's really, really on the ball today.
Maybe she was part of a different group before us or after.
That's true. They could have been running these experiments for who knows.
We might not have been the first.
Yeah.
Do you think she would help us?
I don't know. She seems really into this. She's a police officer, so she's gonna have loyalties to the authorities, and
well, she seems more on the side of like what I say. She's a goody two shoes.
Meanwhile, the conversation with Olivia has devolved into a rather complex explanation of economics and.
So you're saying if I open an individual retirement account as soon as I can...
Olivia is pretending to sort of lean against the wall, but it's very obviously that like she's trying to prevent herself from falling through. And she's just like, yeah. You see, you really need that 5% growth rate each year.
5%. Okay, hold on, and you were saying something about mutual funds?
We cut back to Hyrkir and Niclaus.
So, better a cop with the heart in the right place than one of the corrupt ones.
That's true.
And our aliases don't have any warrants or anything, so as far as she knows, we haven't committed any crimes.
That's true. We still gotta help Olivia, and then...
Oh, yeah, I got the magic tech here.
Okay.
But we gotta decide if we want to bring this person in on what's happening, because I don't even know if they realize that they're casting magic.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't hurt to have someone else, especially with magic.
Olivia looks like she's running out of economics topics to talk about.
Supply chains? What is this? Well, I don't see any reason to keep the three of you here anymore. I have all what I needed. I'm sorry for taking up your time.
No, I mean, I appreciate the help, with those dastardly criminals. Appreciate the work you do.
Some people just need to know that crime's not the answer. Yeah, it was fantastic meeting you.
And what was your name?
Seirys.
Seirys. Well, Seirys, I did want to ask before you left, how did you heal those wounds you had? I didn't see you use any magitech.
What are you talking about?
Well, right there, right? You got hit by the magic missile, I don't even know, 12 times. But you're not even bleeding anymore.
Oh, I just have a very strong constitution. I take my vitamins every day and diet and exercise.
Oh, but it's not even a scratch.
She looks a little bit nervous, I think. She's just like, yeah, I guess I'm just lucky.
And the whole thing with you glowing?
What are you talking about? And she's like very clearly glowing. She's like, what? And then I guess at that moment, 10 minutes have passed, and so the spell drops. She's just like, how was I? And she sort of stares at her hands, trying to figure out if they're still glowing. She's like, I don't know, I guess maybe a trick of the light? That is weird, though.
I have a question for you. Does the name Tiger mean anything to you?
No, I don't know of any tigers. Why do you ask?
Niclaus wants to know if she's lying, even though I know out of character that she's not.
It seems pretty apparent to you, Niclaus, that she really doesn't know what you're talking about.
Niclaus kind of says, I thought for sure that it must just be a coincidence. There's no way she's going to the same place.
Oh, hey, actually, she realizes she ran out of the police station very quickly, and she's like, are you guys familiar at all with the area? I'm actually looking for a place, and I found out vaguely where the address is, but I left in kind of a hurry, and I realized I didn't ask anybody for directions, but do you guys know how I could get to... And then I say the address, like 555 Artorias Street.
Hyrkir looks at Niclaus like,
Where did you hear that address from?
Oh, nowhere. Places, people. But it sounds like you guys do know this address. She squids suspiciously.
Niclaus looks at
Hyrkir looks back at her suspiciously.
Niclaus looks at Hyrkir. We just trade gazes with each other.
Everyone's looking suspiciously at everyone else.
Well, we actually need to get to that same place.
She squints extra suspiciously. Are you with Valdivian?
No.
I most certainly am not.
What's Valdivian got to do with anything?
Sorry, long story short, here's my backstory. So, someone close to me disappeared. I have reason to suspect that Valdivian might have had something to do with it. I checked their apartment, and I found this business card, and I showed them the business card with the name Hyrkir and this address. And so I'm trying to find this address to find this person.
Do we know anything, recognize the name, or just the address?
You recognize both the name and the address.
Okay.
When you meant Tiger, he mentioned it in episode 2.
Yeah, Hyrkir. And Tiger said Hyrkir was the one that were going to help us, right? Or that was his organization?
Yep.
Okay.
She looks embarrassed. Like she feels like maybe she said too much.
You said this person that disappeared, they had this in their apartment?
Yeah, I've been there a few times, and on the most recent trip over, when I was investigating, I found this business card in their apartment.
I mean, it could just be that they were taken by Vyre. Does that feel like that happens pretty often?
Oh, that's my worst fear, but I really have nothing else to go on. You know, it's very hard to touch Vyre, and I haven't really been getting any help on this, so I thought maybe this would help me, give me some answers. As
the telepathic connection with Hyrkir starts to fade, I think it's been more than 4 minutes now, Niclaus says, well, you think we should go? And I'm sure if there's an issue, they can handle it there, as he says to Hyrkir.
Like out loud?
Yep.
No.
Okay.
Oh.
Yes, out loud.
Yeah, maybe she can just help us find it.
I have no idea where it is, but I feel like maybe 3 heads or /4 heads are better than 1.
Yeah, we can go. Yeah. We just have to make a cake first.
Oh, I have to file this report first. So how about we each do our things of equal importance, and then we meet back here?
There's a coffee shop up the street. How about there?
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Should we set a time? Otherwise, we're just gonna be hanging out there waiting for...
This is like one of those movie magic things where like people call each other to hang out but never actually specify a time.
I'm sure we'll each get there at the right time. I feel it in my bones. Okay, after we're both done,
we'll meet at the coffee shop.
Yeah, we'll hit up the coffee shop. We'll grab
Okay.
some lattes, and then we'll head out.
Okay.
Go team.
Go team.
I write down in my notebook that I made 3 friends today.
Olivia, let's go.
Oh, okay. She's like, it was nice meeting you.
Oh my gosh, it was nice meeting you too, Ghost Child.
She mumbles to Hyrkir and Niclaus. Wow, she's really surprisingly nonchalant about this.
She seems to have a divine connection of some sort, so...
And then she's like, ooh. Niclaus, Hyrkir, and you guys head out with Olivia. Not too far away, the 3 of you bump into Gobzu, Audrey, and Constance. They look a little bit concerned. Constance says, are you guys okay?
Right as rain.
We saw there was some sort of commotion going on.
Gnolls.
Somehow we ended up at a shop that Gnolls were attempting to rob.
Yeah, that sounds like our luck.
Yep.
Anyways, did you guys get the stuff?
We got the stuff. We got the stuff, right, Niclaus?
Niclaus pulls the stuff out of his pockets. We also ran into a police officer there that was using magic without the Magitech, and it wasn't a show, so that happened.
Everybody's eyes narrow towards you.
Yep. So about that cake.
Yep. What do you guys do?
I hold the things out to Olivia, and I'm like, Olivia, I hereby return to you that which you sought, in the hopes of allowing you to find your way again. Amen. And I hand back the Magitech. I don't let go, so it doesn't go through her hands, but I see if her hands were able to accept it. Does anything happen?
Olivia looks a little bit hesitant to accept the Magitech that you're handing out to her. And you can see that there's some tears forming in her eyes.
Ghost tears.
Ghost tears. and she says, "Are you sure it's okay?"
Yeah, I feel like you deserve to, finally move past this. Get to wherever you were trying to go.
She trepidatiously reaches her hand out towards the Magitech that you're holding, and as she does, she starts to glow brightly. And even Constance, Audrey, and Gobzu react to this sudden shining of bright light, and they sort of, at this point it's evening, so it's quite dark. Each of them sort of try to shield their eyes from the bright light, and for them, suddenly Olivia's form can be seen. Gobzu is like, "Oh, you guys weren't crazy."
Hyrkir whispers a prayer to nature and then says, "Goodbye, Olivia."
She says, "Thanks, guys." And then she says, in sort of under her breath, "Mom, Dad, I'm coming home."
Aww.
She turns to the two of you and I guess everybody else, and she says, "If you guys ever need help, I think maybe you'll know how to find me."
We'll let you know. Appreciate all the help you've given us so far.
Yeah, I'll see you guys around.
See you around.
Goodbye, Olivia.
She disappears in a giant flash of light. The Magitech disappears. And Hyrkir and Niclaus, you guys get this feeling suddenly that you know where to go.
Hooray! Back to the coffee shop to wait.
Yep.
Gotta get that venti mocha frap. 2 pump cinnamon, 1 pump caramel.
Now that you guys have money,
Time to spend it on Starbucks.
Celestial deer.
Celestial deer. Anyway.
Yeah. Not long after, Seirys rolls in.
All right. Hey,
I'm like,
you know where to go.
like, oh wow, great. How did that happen?
That's not important.
Oh, okay. What happened to your small friend?
She went home.
Okay, that's not weird or vague or anything. Do you guys want coffee?
Yeah, we'll get a coffee to go.
Yeah. I get one artificially sweetened with prestidigitation.
Yeah, you guys get your coffees, and Audrey, Gobzu, and Constance introduce themselves, though somewhat suspiciously and using their fake names. Gobzu uses his real name.
I'm like, nice to meet you, Gobzu. Nice to meet you, Martha, Kathleen. She looks a little bit weirdly at them as if there's something familiar about these people. As if some sort of citywide alert went out for these people at some point, but she brushes that off. She's like, nah.
Obviously, it was a different name.
Yeah.
So it couldn't be them.
Totally different. Totally different.
I'm sure it's nothing.
All right, shall we go?
Let's go.
Let us go.
We go.
To find out.
We for sure go.
Yep. You guys head out, and now that you are no longer lost, you make good time. Eventually you arrive at the address, 555 Ortoria Street, and you see a small run-down U-shaped business plaza with a small public square in the center. It's about 3 stories tall, sort of like a small mall, with a floor that appears to be residential. The walls have been long rain-stained, and just even from the outside, the entire building looks a bit damp. Inside you can see a couple of illusion advertisements blinking, basically the only thing that's illuminated here, and otherwise it's pretty quiet. Constance walks up to the gate of the plaza, and she pulls it open, and she says, shall we? Hey everyone, this is your very adequate Dungeon Master Joey. Thanks for checking out this episode of Adequately Advanced Magic. I wanted to give a quick shout out to Patrick, our newest patron on Patreon. If you'd also like to support the podcast, there's a link to our Patreon at adequatelyadvancedmagic.com. On it you'll find some bonus content and polls on the scenarios for the next bonus episodes. Join us next week as our rabbit friend finally reappears.